Now we're going to start to get into some of the more fun stuff. And by fun stuff, I mean adding and subtracting matrices. And the nice thing is that adding and subtracting matrices is about as straightforward as you could hope for. If A and B are the same size, and I keep saying size, your book says order. If they're the same order, I'm going to make that look prettier. If A and B are the same size or order, we can find A plus B by adding the corresponding elements. Similarly, we can find A minus B by subtracting the corresponding elements. Okay, now it's a big fancy definition, but I think looking at some examples will make that a little bit more clear about what's going on. So if I want to add, say I've got a matrix of 1, -2, 3, and 5, plus -1, 6, 0, 4. Okay, if I want to add these two together, I can say, all right, I'm just going to add the corresponding elements. See, they're the same size, right? It's a 2 by 2. This one's a 2 by 2. So I'm going to get my answer is also going to be a 2 by 2 because they're all the same size. Pull down there so you can see that. So what I have is I have 1 plus a -1. I have -2 plus 6. I have 3 plus 0. And I have 5 plus 4. So adding matrices, 1 and -1 is 0, -2 and 6 is 4, 3 and 0 is 3, 5 and 4 is 9. So just adding them straight across, okay? Subtracting them, I'm going to use actually the same matrices, so I'll hold that up for a second. Subtracting them is going to be a similar process, except instead of adding them, guess what? We're going to subtract them. Okay? So we could do this. We'll say 1 minus a -1. We've got -2 minus 6. We've got 3 minus 0. And I've got 5 minus 4. So 1 minus a -1. 1 plus 1 is 2. -2 minus 6 minus 8. 3 minus 0 is 3. 5 minus 4 is 1. Okay. So you can see these aren't the same answer because this is adding, this is subtracting. But the process is reasonably straightforward. Now part of my definition was I said that they had to be the same size. And I'll give you a reason why. Say I wanted to add, that's supposed to be a 6. Say I wanted to add this. I want to add it like this. Well, you might say, well, I can add this one and this one, and this one and this one, this one and this one, and this one and this one. But what do I do with these two? They don't match. There's nothing going on here. Huh? So if you're ever trying to add something and you get a huh, that means you can't do it. They must be the same size. All right? And that's why we say they have to be the same size, because if they're not the same size, we don't know what to add to these guys. They're just like hanging out on their own, just like, I don't know, under the umbrella. There's nobody to play with. It's a beach towel. This is not beach weather. Something like that. I don't know. So anyway, you have to have matrices be the same size if you're going to add them. Let's do another add and subtract example just so you can kind of get the hang of it. So you've got this. And again, I'm using parentheses instead of brackets because that's what I'm used to. And I think brackets are ugly, but you can do whatever makes you happy. It's absolutely equivalent. It's just like that. Alright, so say I wanted to add these two together. I'm not even going to close them off because I always need more space than I think I'm going to do. Alright, so I've got 0. Well, first of all, see if you can do this by yourself. And pause this and go work on it, because that's the only way you're going to know if you really understand it. And at least now you have a nice fancy pants explanation. Say we've got 0 plus a negative 2, 5 plus 3, 3 plus 5, and then we've got negative 2 plus 7, and I'm going to run out of steps. 6 plus a negative 9, and then I have negative 8 plus 6. Okay. Minus 2, 8, 8, 5, negative 3, and negative 2. Alright, so again, it is reasonably straightforward. So you could ask for worse than having to add a whole bunch of matrices together. So let's try this again. We'll do the same ones, but this time we'll subtract them. So if you want to go ahead and start working on that, if you already have them written out, I don't want to, if you didn't mess them up like I did the first time. Like that. So we'll start out 0 minus a negative 2. Now that's honestly about the worst thing that's going to happen, is you're going to forget to put the minus a negative 2. But this is something, if you've been struggling with that, you've probably been struggling with all semester, so hopefully you've got a pretty good eye out for that to happen. 3 minus 5, negative 2 minus 7, 6 minus a negative 9. Again, your parentheses are really important here. And then 8, negative 8 minus 6. So, and if I'm going too fast again, that's why you have a video, because you can pause it and go ahead and work through these on your own and hopefully get something along those lines.